Have you ever looked at a new product and thought, why did this succeed? While another one, with all the hype and features, just completely vanished? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a framework that explains exactly that. It's called jobs to be done. And trust me, it's going to change the way you see pretty much every purchase decision ever made.
I mean, it's a massive multi-billion-dollar question, right? The hard truth is most new products, well, they fail, big time. Companies pour all this money and talent into R&D, and it still feels like they're just throwing darts in the dark. It's this wild innovation paradox. Tons of effort, very few real wins. So why is that? It turns out we've probably been asking the completely wrong questions all along.
So, what is this big flaw in how we think about innovation? How are so many brilliant people missing the mark? Well, it boils down to a really simple but, profound mistake in where we put our focus. We've been absolutely obsessed with the what of the product and the who of the customer, when we should have been laser-focused on the why.
And this lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the old way of doing things. It's all about demographics, age, location, income, data points. It's about features and specs. But then look at the other side. What really matters, it's the why. Why is someone actually buying this? What progress are they hoping to make in their life? That jump from the left side to the right, that's the whole game right there.
Okay, so if focusing on who the customer isn't the whole picture, what's the alternative? This is where we get to the core idea, this powerful new lens for looking at what drives people. It's all about something called the job. So let's unpack what that really means.
So here it is, the big idea. People don't really buy products. They hire them. They hire them to do a specific job. And that job isn't a task, it's the progress they're trying to make in their life at that moment. Just thinking about a purchase as a hiring decision completely flips the script on how we should be thinking about what we create.
And this quote just makes it all click, doesn't it? It's the classic example. Nobody wakes up thinking, man, I really want to own a 1/4-inch drill bit today. No way. What they want is the outcome. They want a perfect, clean hole in the wall so they can hang a picture of their family. The drill is just the tool they hire to get that job done. And once you understand the job is create a hole, you can innovate in ways that go way beyond just making a better drill.
And this is where it gets really powerful. A job is never one-dimensional. It's got layers. First, you have the functional part, right? The practical task, like drilling the actual hole. But just as important, if not more, is the emotional dimension. How do they want to feel? Confident and capable, not frustrated and incompetent. And often there's a social piece too. They want to be seen as someone who can handle things around the house. The best products, the ones who really love, they solve for all three.
Okay, so the theory is great, but how do you actually find these jobs out in the real world? Well, to do that, you have to understand these invisible forces that are always at war in a customer's mind. You've got the push of their current frustrating situation and the pull of your awesome new solution. But fighting against you are two other powerful forces, the anxiety of trying something new and the habit of just sticking with what they know. Your product has to be good enough to overcome those last two to get hired.
So how do you find those jobs where the push and pull are the strongest? Luckily, there's a process. First up, you've got to identify all the different jobs your customer is trying to get done. Then, you measure two really simple things. One, how important is this job to them? And two, how happy are they with the solutions they're using to do it right now?
And when you plot those two things out, you get this incredibly useful map. Now, look with me at that top left corner, the one that's lit up. This is the sweet spot. The job is super important to the customer, but their satisfaction with what's out there is really low. That, my friends, is not just an opportunity. It's a gold mine. That's where you'll find your customers' biggest, most painful problems just waiting for a solution.
All right, let's make this real. Let's look at a couple of companies that totally nailed this. Companies that designed products customers couldn't wait to hire.
Okay, so let's go back to our friend who just wants to hang a picture. The company Bosch had a realization. They figured out the job wasn't make a hole in the wall. The real job, the real progress that person was trying to make was to hang a picture perfectly, the first time, with zero frustration.
So what did they do? Their solution was genius. They created a drill with a laser level and a little dust catcher built right in. Functionally, it does the whole job at once. Emotionally, it makes the user feel like a pro. And socially, it helps them look like they've got it all together. See? They didn't sell a better drill, they sold a better outcome.
Let's take a more recent example, one we've all probably used. Think about needing to get across town. The job isn't just, I need a ride. The real job is, I need to get from here to there with the absolute minimum amount of hassle and uncertainty.
And that's exactly what Uber solved for. They didn't invent the taxi, right? They just designed a perfect solution for that entire job. Functionally, it's seamless. You tap, you track, you go. Emotionally, it erases all that stress of will a cab show up. And socially, it helps you get where you're going on time, feeling in control. They addressed every single pain point of the job.
But here's the thing. The real magic happens when this way of thinking escapes the product lab and becomes the blueprint for the entire company. That's when it becomes a total game changer.
When a whole company gets organized around the customer's job, everything just clicks. Your marketing team starts talking to people's actual struggles, not just their age bracket. R&D finally has a true north for what to build next. Your sales team can explain the product's value in a way that really hits home. The whole organization starts speaking the same language, and that language is all about customer success.
So, as you can see, Jobs to be Done is so much more than just a cool acronym. It's a fundamental strategic shift. It's about moving from being a company that just makes stuff to being a company that helps people make progress in their lives. And that focus on their success is the ultimate long-term competitive edge.
So I'll leave you with this. Whether you're building an app, selling coffee, or leading a team, just take a second to ask this one simple question. Look past all the features, past the data, past everything. What job are your customers really hiring you to do? The answer might just change everything.